40 years old, past it, and supposedly just along for the ride. That was the story ESPN and half the football world kept telling about Cristiano Ronaldo, right up until the moment he ripped it to shreds. In Munich's Nations League final, the man branded a passenger, buried a 61-minute equalizer, dragged Portugal to penalties, and ripped the Ballon d'Or narrative out of teenage hands. A week earlier, the conversation had sounded so tidy. Crown the Nations League winner, hand him football's highest individual prize, and market a torch-passing moment from the old era to the new. If Spain's 17-year-old prodigy Lamine Yamal lifted the trophy, the golden ball was obvious. If France's resurgent Ousmane Dembélé did, it was his. Simple until Ronaldo barged in. And that clash of generations didn't just rewrite the summer's headlines, it dragged us all back through the archives to remember why the man once nicknamed the Machine still commands fear. But before we relive those seasons of carnage, let's rewind to see how the media tried, then failed to script football's next coronation. 3 days before the semifinals, ESPN panels gleefully framed Spain-France as a straight ballot for the Ballon d'Or. Whoever survives Stuttgart on Thursday gets the award, period. Fans smelled agenda. Social feeds exploded with screenshots accusing broadcasters of moving goalposts to install a record-young winner. Pundits replayed Yamal's nutmegs on loop. French outlets hyped Dembélé's redemption arc. The stakes felt bigger than the Nations League itself. Away from the noise, Portugal's camp watched in silence. Coach Roberto Martinez kept his press conferences bland. Ronaldo logged extra ice baths and fewer quotes. His name barely surfaced in the algorithm except to be mocked. A liability, one studio analyst scoffed. Ramos should start. CR7 slows them down. The scriptwriters forgot one rule. When football labels Cristiano obsolete, he tends to underline the word and turn it into a headline. June 5th, MHP Arena. Spain 5, France 4. A carnival of chaos in which Yamal stole every camera flash, a left-foot rocket in the 14th, a toe poke in the 32nd, fearless dribbles that left French fullbacks pleading for mercy. By the 60-minute mark, it was 5-1. Spain's teenagers danced. The hashtag #ShawshireKidBallon trended worldwide. France clawed 3 late goals, but the scoreboard still screamed Yamal. In the mixed zone, he grinned, "One more game." Journalists nodded like the trophy engraving was already booked. All that remained, they said, was a polite handshake with whoever emerged from Germany-Portugal. Few bothered to watch. Cue the other semi-final, Dortmund. Germany unbeaten in 25 years against Portugal, until the 40-year-old ghosted between 2 center-backs and volleyed home the winner. Critics dismissed it as nostalgia. Nice moment, still a luxury sub. Talk shows replayed slow-motion sprints, circled his top speed numbers in red, and tutted at the drop-off. Even a respected columnist wrote, "Romantic cameos don't erase 90-minute liability." Ronaldo's response? A shrug, a grin, and one line to the team chef. Save dessert for Sunday. He trained light the next morning, skipped optional media duties, and arrived in Munich with 932 career goals, though you wouldn't have guessed it from the pre-match graphics, all splashed with teenage faces. Older legs can't outrun time, but experience can ambush arrogance. 21 minutes in, Spain's Martin Zubimendi rifles low past Costa. 1-0. Stadium DJ cues reggaeton. Spanish fans surf each other's shoulders. 5 minutes later, Nuno Mendes pounces on a loose clearance. 1-1. The script flickers. On 43, Oyarzabal bends a curler. Spain ahead again. Cameras cut to Ronaldo rolling his neck, jaw set. Second half 61. Cancelo arcs a hopeful cross. Yamal tracks back, misjudges flight. Ronaldo reads the panic, sneaks behind, side foots with the economy of a man who's done it 938 times. Net bulges, Munich gasps. Commentators find the word inevitable once more. 2-2. Extra time fades. Penalties loom. Ronaldo walks first, lashes top corner. Spain blink. Portugal go perfect. Spain misfire twice. Final whistle. Portugal 5-3 on spot kicks, lifting their second Nations League title. Ronaldo sobs into the night while scoreboard graphics recalculate Ballon d'Or odds on live TV. Within minutes, debate mutated from Yamal or Dembélé to did a 40-year-old just hijack football's most coveted award? But the backlash and the reminder of his greatest seasons was only beginning. Within minutes of Portugal's medal ceremony, the talking heads were eating their own hot takes. On one channel, a pundit who'd called Ronaldo a nostalgia act 3 days earlier now argued that longevity is the ultimate benchmark. On another, analysts insisted team trophies suddenly mattered less than individual output. The exact opposite of last week's script. Social feeds split along generational fault lines. Kid Ballon rallied behind Yamal's raw brilliance, while the hashtag #Cedar40 and counting demanded respect for a career that refuses to clock out. The only consensus? The Ballon d'Or race had just been dumped in a blender, and the switch was stuck on Max. But heated as that debate was, it barely scratched the surface of why Ronaldo's equalizer hit so hard. For anyone with a memory longer than the TikTok scroll, it triggered flashbacks of 5 seasons so absurd they still warp record books. And once you revisit those campaigns, the idea that a single Nations League match could seal the award starts to feel naive. Bookmakers needed 30 minutes after the final whistle to slash Ronaldo's odds from 50-1 to 12-1. Yamal stayed favorite but wobbled. Dembélé drifted. Mbappé hovered like a shark sensing hemoglobin. The voting pool now stares at a dilemma: legacy versus novelty. Do you reward the ageless marvel who just rewrote the record for oldest scorer in a major final shootout? Or the teenager who may dominate the next decade? And while you mull that, consider this. If Ronaldo completes one more run at the World Cup qualifiers in autumn, he may walk into the ceremony with 1,000 career goals, dangling from his neck like nuclear launch codes. Football loves to bury its past beneath tomorrow's clickbait, but some legends keep crawling out of the grave to steal the headline font. Whether the Ballon d'Or lands in the hands of a 17-year-old prodigy or a 40-year-old phenom, Munich reminded us that scripts are only drafts until the whistle blows. Smash that subscribe, hit the bell, and keep your eyes on the pitch. Because in football, the next plot twist is already warming up.